What I love to do is introduce the right people to the right people.
I assemble the smartest people I can think of or reach out to carry that conversation, and that's exactly what I've done today.
Please give my panel a round of applause. Welcome. Okay, guys, Jay Martin here, CEO of Cambridge House, and I'm joined once again by Alex Whittier-Sharon, CEO of Empress Royalty. Alex, welcome back. It's good to see you.
Great to see you. Thanks so much for having me, Jay.
No, it's my pleasure. I'm excited to get caught up on the story. The last time we spoke was end of January at the VRIC, the virtual VRIC that we hosted here on the channel. Since then, I know you've been to Mexico 4 times, doing diligence, putting capital to work. As a shareholder, I appreciate this. Where I wanted to start today was, Alex, there's been a surge of royalty companies that have hit the market in the last 12 months. And definitely a surge of investor interest. Like, I'm seeing it. Whenever we have a royalty company on, we have outsized response from the audience, and I get it. I get why. But what I would love your help with today, or love you to help my audience with, is what are the easy steps, or what are some steps, in your opinion, that investors can apply to value a royalty company? Say they're looking at 6, and they want some just quick hacks to determine which are worth more time than others. What should investors focus on?
I think one of the interesting parts of the royalty space is how companies develop their royalty portfolio. There's sort of 3 different ways of doing it. You've got the exploration, the project generators, those type of royalty companies. You're getting early stage opportunities, high risk, doesn't cost a lot of money, and there's a long lead to the revenue generation. But you really need a lot of projects in your portfolio to get a win. And then there's the third-party royalty acquisition companies, so like a royalty trading company, meaning that they've already got the royalties are already in place. So it's a simple acquisition, but it's quite a crowded marketplace. So you end up paying sort of premium for those types of royalties. Okay. In that situation, third-party royalty acquisition, they don't have a direct relationship with the company, and they don't have the ability to renegotiate the contract. And then the third type is the creation, which is where we're focused, where we're working with mining company partners to provide them financing solutions to either get into production or expand on the production. It's definitely more labor intensive to structure them and put them together, but we're able to structure that contract to meet not only our goals, but the goals of the company. So we work very closely with the company. We get a lot more information about what's happening, what they want to do with the company, where they see it growing, what the opportunities are. A lot more in-depth due diligence goes into this. And we're able to do this and get access to this type of deals through our network, through our strategic partners. We're able to source due diligence, negotiate through those relationships.
Right. Okay. Actually, I'd love to segue then into your strategic partners. It's what turned my head about the Empress story in the first place. Most people watching this know Endeavor Financial. They're, a hallmark name in mining finance and advisory. In addition to Terra Capital and Ascendo Banco in Mexico. So if you could walk me and my audience through these 3 strategic partnerships that you've developed for Empress and what each brings to the table, I would appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So Endeavor Financial, as you mentioned, hallmark in the mining industry, it's a global mining finance investment banking firm. So they have access, they've got a lot of different clients on the debt finance side, corporate finance side. We get access to all of their cash flow modelers, financial analysts, mining engineers. So this brings a whole team of investment bankers to Empress. So it's not only sourcing opportunities because they're so well connected within the industry, but it's also helping structure those deals, do the due diligence, and be able to execute on the transaction. So very much deal flow for us, and so that support in the execution. Our second partner is Terra Capital, run by Jeremy Bond in Sydney, Australia. Terra Capital is a boutique fund that focuses on the natural resource space. It gives us access to Australian deals, Australian listed companies with projects internationally. But as Jeremy's been an active investor in the natural resource market in Canada in the last 10 years, gives us a fantastic capital markets network. So it also provides a very unique opportunity for Empress. And then our third partnership, which we signed in August, is with Ascendo Banco, run by Javier Reyes. And this gives us access to Mexican streaming and royalty opportunities. Ascendo Banco has over 30 clients, mining companies as their clients. So we're able to work with Ascendo Banco and provide that full financing solution to companies. And their look at investment size similar to our range. So it's very complementary in the smaller size investments, being that $1 to $10 million. A great example of that has been the deal we completed in November, Candelaria. That was a joint deal we did with Ascendo Banco. And then we're working on one with Telford Mining on the Talahueto project, where Ascendo is providing the debt facility and we're providing the stream alongside some equity.
Got it. Okay. And I want to talk about the Talahueto agreement soon. That's interesting, the deal flow component, because when I saw these partnerships, my immediate thought was, well, they're never going to have a problem raising capital. But the deal flow advantage is notable. So on the capital front, I know you guys just completed a financing, put $16.4 million in the treasury. Anything to mention on this, Alex?
Yeah, we did most of the sort of bought deal through Red Cloud, Canaccord, and Mackie. And this financing definitely gives us the ability now to execute and close on the transactions that we're really advanced on. So it's going to allow us to bring revenue into Empress pretty quick.
Okay. Now let's get into some of these agreements. Let's start with Talahueto, and just walk my audience through. This is the Talson Mining project. So walk my audience through what you structured here.
Yeah, so this for us is a $5 million US silver stream on the Talahueto project. This project is fully permitted. It's half built right now, and I've actually just been to site looking at the project. And we came alongside Ascendo Banco, who's providing $12 million in debt. We're providing the $5 million silver stream, and then there was an equity raise that's just being completed now to support this, which gives them a full $25 million to get Talahueto into production, which should be the end of this year, beginning of next year.
Okay.
So I'm down here right now, just been to the mine site, met with different government officials, met with their off-takers to make sure all the counterparties are working well together. It's a very exciting one. So this one, we're in the final stages of negotiation on the documentation, and then we'll provide the funding for it when we get that part completed.
Okay. And another agreement that's recently been on the radar is Manica in Mozambique.
Yeah, so this one is a $2 million investment US for Empress. It gives us a 2.25% royalty on the entire project. And this one, as you mentioned, in Mozambique. This one will be in production in Q3 this year, so hopefully providing revenue to Empress by the end of the year. We've signed the documentation. We're just waiting for the final CPs before we fund. And then this one will be part of the portfolio of a near-term cash producer for us.
Okay. Now, who has the expertise in Africa out of your three partners? Because I look at this and it's exciting coverage. You got North America, Australia, Latin America covered with these three partnerships. Is it Endeavour? Does Endeavour bring expertise in Africa? Yeah,
Endeavour has been advising to mining companies and been in Africa for as a company for over 20 years. David's who's the managing director of Endeavour Financial, also our executive chairman and chair of our investment committee.
David Rhodes.
David Rhodes. David's been in Africa for 25 years.
Yes.
Okay. So we've been able to, and we're not going into any country where the team hasn't been there before. So we know how to operate within those countries. So obviously de-risks that for us by knowing the countries we're going into.
Yeah, 100%. It's the know-who angle, right? Okay. Okay, so let's walk through the pipeline a little bit. What can we expect in the future, Alex?
So we're very much focused on, as I mentioned before, near-term producers or producers. I've got exclusivity now in 2 new deals. And this means we've got the terms negotiated, the term sheet signed. We've got exclusivity and we're advancing due diligence, both technical and legal. And this is on ones in Peru, where we would double their production, and other ones in Kenya, where we would increase the production by a third. So if these ones do vet out through a due diligence process and come online, these would be immediate revenue coming into Empress. Okay.
So what I like is the diversity of revenue. I love the team. I think that's why we connected in the first place. I like what you're building. And yeah, it's. Do you expect to remain focused in Latin America and Africa? Where geographically, Alex, do you have preference to where you're going to be shopping in the future?
We're going to countries that we've been in before. So that's part of the criteria. We see a lot of opportunity in Latin America, higher grade projects, less capital to get them into production. And also with Endeavour's relationships and Ascendo's relationships, we're seeing a lot there at the moment. But definitely Africa as well. We're looking at some stuff in Australia, Indonesia. So we are looking globally. Probably roughly about 75% will be in Latin America. That might change when the opportunities come up. But that's kind of where our focus is right now at the stage that we're at.
Yeah. Okay. But not restricted to that, obviously.
No.
Okay.
No. We look for good projects and good returns.
Right. Yeah. Do you have a list of like, where do you start? Where do you start when you, because I imagine you're looking at hundreds of deals, what's the first thing that you need to see for you to take a deeper look?
A good project. It has to be a project that makes sense. Absolutely key. Obviously, the other most important thing is the people and the management teams running these projects. We're working with people we know can get into production. They know how to operate the country that they're in. And these deals are coming to us through the management groups that we know. And there's other situations where we know a group that's running a project and they're in production, but we know they could do more production with more capital. So we've approached a few of those. Like the one in Peru where we're going out to the groups that we know, but it's very much about the people and their competence and ability to do it, and that comes through our relationships and history with them.
Okay. Look, Alex, I appreciate you coming back on and updating myself and my audience. I do appreciate your time. I know you travel like crazy, so it doesn't go unnoticed. But I'd love to get back in touch 6 months down the road, check in on the story again.
That would be great. Thanks so much for having me, and thanks everyone for listening. Always a pleasure talking with you.
Yeah, my pleasure.